Kaiser Frederick III was German Emperor and King of Prussia for just 99 days between March and June of 1888 during the Year of Three Emperors. His reign, however, was cut short as Frederick was suffering from cancer of the larynx when he died at the age of 56 following an unsuccessful medical treatment for his condition. You just had to smoke, didn't you, Freddy? Kids, don't smoke. It could start a world war. But before dying, Frederick had fought in the wars against Denmark, Austria, and France for Prussia. Although he had opposed military action in each case, once war had started, he wholeheartedly supported the Prussian military and took positions of command in the army. Upon becoming Kaiser, his policies were limited, but he had many ideas and a vision for a new Germany. In our timeline, what he did as emperor was attempt to limit the powers of the chancellor and monarch under the constitution, but it was never put into effect. He forced Robert von Puttkamer, however, to resign as interior minister for interfering in the Reichstag's elections. He had many ideas and policies that he had wanted to see accomplished to create greater peace in Europe and have closer relationships with Great Britain. But this never came to be as he died after 99 days in office, because smoking is bad for you. Frederick was succeeded by his son Wilhelm II, who was not the most stable guy to have as an emperor. With the rise of Hitler after World War I, many people often forget about just how stupid Kaiser Wilhelm II was, as he often acted erratic and unstable regarding the bigger picture and alliances. Wilhelm II destroyed the German alliance with Russia and any potential at allying with Britain. Wilhelm II abandoned pretty much all of his father's policies and ideas, which helped put Germany on the path that was set up now for the conditions of World War I starting. Now, for this alternate history scenario, conditions so that Frederick III lives would honestly be very little. Either the medical treatments for his throat cancer are successful, but it's 1888 medicine, so I'll go with the only condition being necessary is that Frederick doesn't smoke at all. Now that Frederick III lives, what is his rule of Germany going to be like? Kaiser Frederick had many different ideas that were considered liberal at the time, including transitioning the German monarchy into a constitutional monarchy similar to that of Great Britain. It was also no secret that Frederick was a great admirer of the British and wanted the German Empire to be reformed to be more like Britain. However, just because Frederick wants something done doesn't mean necessarily that he could get it done. Frederick III was also a conservative ruler as well, with traditional principles, and although several historians have speculated that he may have helped Germany turn into a liberal democracy, I really don't think that he would go that far, despite loving the British model of government. So, with Kaiser Frederick ruling Germany in the 1890s, what I see happening in this decade is some liberalization of the German Empire to be more like Britain. I feel like there are very little changes regarding Germany's colonies in Africa and Asia, but Germany will have less British competition as Germany will still rule the land but will not try to challenge British rule over the seas. In the turn of the century, the 1900s see the Boxer Rebellion as a prime example of Frederick to why the great powers must remain allies instead of enemies. This is the point where I feel like Germany would solidify its alliance with Britain. However, I don't think any of the other powers would buy into the idea of some kind of greater alliance in Europe to prevent war between the great powers. The 1910s and build-up to World War I would see Germany reassuring its alliance with Russia and Austria-Hungary while also staying great friends with Britain. But Germany and France aren't still on the best of terms. But hey, it's not like that's gonna matter, right? In our timeline, Austria-Hungary was pretty much the only ally of Wilhelm II in Europe, and he strongly supported the empire. Turning to how Frederick III would see Austria-Hungary during the Austro-Prussian War, Frederick was the only member of the Prussian Crown Council to uphold the rights of the Duke of Augustenburg and to oppose the idea of war with Austria, which he described as fratricide. Since that is really all we have to go on, I'd say Frederick is also strongly allied with Austria-Hungary. But the Ottoman Empire is a completely different story. Wilhelm II was a big admirer of the Ottoman Empire, so much so that rumors circulated throughout the early 20th century that he had converted to Islam. Wilhelm solidified an alliance with the Ottomans mainly for the Berlin to Baghdad Railroad. I'm not sure if Frederick would do the same, but I'm not 100% sure that he would be doing the same stuff, and I don't think that Frederick III would be that friendly with the Ottomans. It's been debated whether or not World War I would still happen with Frederick III on the throne, but I'd go with World War I is not averted, as there are many different causes other than Wilhelm II backing Austria-Hungary against Serbia. Frederick would also not support the invasion of Serbia, as due to his extensive combat experience, he did not want a major European war. Also, a big difference is that Frederick has not alienated both Russia and Britain. I feel like Germany, Russia, and Austria-Hungary would try to come up with a real compromise about the July crisis, but Austria-Hungary isn't having any of it and invades Serbia, kicking off World War I. World War I in this alternate timeline is going to be a little weird with different entangling alliances, so bear with me here for a while. Germany is allies with both Russia and Austria-Hungary, who are at war with one another. Germany is also allied with Britain, but has strained a relationship with France. Additionally, France is backing Serbia and Russia against Austria-Hungary. Italy is also just kinda there. With the war kicking off, the Germans and Russians have a sort of non-aggression agreement, even though Germany gives aid to Austria-Hungary while Russia attacks Galicia. Germany and France go directly to war as Britain remains neutral because Frederick isn't going to attack through Belgium. The Ottoman Empire is also neutral as the Ottomans aren't allied with the Germans. How this war goes and how it would be fought and what all happens would be very hard for me to predict, but I can give you a possible scenario for it. World War I might see the Ottomans attacking the British and or the Russians, but not sure if they'd join in this much more complicated World War I alliance system. People within Germany would want to fight against Russia due to the Russians absolutely crushing the Austro-Hungarians, who the Germans see as brothers, and additionally Russia looks like free real estate to the Germans. Meanwhile, the war in France sees a larger German army preparing to move on Paris in 1914 because there's more Germans, no British in France, but since there's no Schlieffen plan through Belgium, I'd say that it might go about the historical route for the invasion of France in 1914. How everything else in the war goes, and when Britain or the United States might join the war, is way beyond my ability to accurately predict, especially with a vastly different alliance system for Germany. But that is of course just one possible scenario for if Kaiser Frederick III lived to lead Germany in World War I. What do you think would have happened? Write in the comments, and thank you for watching.